In this video, I want to explain exactly how we can finally beat the short sellers with the US Observer 4-step counterstrike. I also want to talk about the additional legal action that GNS is taking against short sellers. So stay tuned and let's make some money. So let's dive straight in with the key information. So, Kristen has tweeted about how the US Observer counterstrike can save your company. She said, in a savage, cutthroat jungle of financial markets, public companies are ruthlessly hunted by a vicious 4-step assault crafted to annihilate their value and hurl them into bankruptcy. So the US Observer breaks down that 4-step process and explains how in each step they can beat the short sellers and how they're already doing so. So it says this merciless cycle begins with naked short selling, a despicable and illegal tactic that drowns the market in counterfeit shares, then followed by venomous smear campaigns, and then baseless class action lawsuits, and finally devastating regulatory pylons. So it says predatory hedge funds, short selling vultures, along with short research firms including the now defunct Hindenburg Research and greedy ambulance-chasing attorneys orchestrate this slaughter, raking in profits while shareholders and issuers are left bleeding. And it says the US Observer, led by CEO Michael Quayle, with a battle-hardened 30-year track record, is the only lifeline capable of obliterating this cycle at every stage. They've said they rip apart fraud, shred false accusations, and drag regulators like the SEC, Department of Justice, and FINRA to the true culprits, stopping 80% of these attacks dead in their tracks, often discreetly to shield anonymity. So then, of course, it explains short selling. By now we know how short selling works, and says that the US Observer hunts these market parasite short sellers with ferocious precision, saying they dissect trading data to expose illegal shorting, even unmasking the hedge funds behind it. We then use the threat of exposure, which our nationwide newspaper provides, and approximately 80% of the time the wrongdoing short hedge funds stop their damaging actions, saying if not, they force the FINRA and the SEC to crush the violators, and the swift action, or their swift action, often stabilizes stock prices, as seen in overstock.com. It then explains the smear campaigns by short sellers, which we also know of by now, how those short research firms, like Hindenburg Research, post often inaccurate reports, falsely accusing companies of fraud or mismanagement, saying that innocent companies are often slaughtered by this vicious defamation, but of course they can't fight back because of the severe drop in share price, often leading to bankruptcy. The US Observer says they shred those deceitful reports with ruthless accuracy, blasting out hard-hitting rebuttals that expose the short sellers' filthy motives and restores investor trust, giving Tesla as an example, who survived short seller attacks through sheer, yet very expensive, grit and truth. Again, I don't want to read every sentence, every paragraph here word for word, but it also explains the fraudulent or false class action lawsuits that arise as a result of the decrease in share price, and also how they can rebuttal those class action lawsuits to the benefit of the underlying companies. And finally, they also explain the regulatory pylons on how these underlying companies also receive massive SEC fines for wrongdoing, further bankrupting the companies, but also explains how they can again help the companies out to avoid those SEC fines, especially when the company is acting proper and non-fraudulently. Now, obviously, this is a post by Kristen discussing the US Observer article and linking to the US Observer Twitter. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with US Observer. I'm not being paid by US Observer or anyone else to make this video, and I don't know the US Observer. I think it sounds like a great idea for a company, and I, or we, or us as a community, I think we should do more research into the US Observer, and if they can actually help companies like GNS, like MMTLP, like AMC, like GameStop, and many others avoid actual naked shorting. Obviously, I'll link to this article and let you guys do your due diligence and let you guys read this article yourself. I think it sounds incredible. Obviously, let me know what you think. And as I said, I'd love if we can come together as a community and do some more research. The global technology race between the US and China has accelerated faster than almost anyone was expecting. Right now, in 2025, the tech race is shifting into new areas of competition, especially in AI, automation, and a field you might not have thought about before, humanoid robotics. Both the US and China see humanoid robots as the next major platform shift, capable of transforming manufacturing, defense, logistics, and the future of work. And what we're witnessing right now is the beginning of one of the most significant technological transitions of our lifetime. As of late 2025, humanoid robots represent only about 0.2% of the global robotics market, but the rate of progress is accelerating quickly. The companies building in this emerging ecosystem are beginning to attract some of the strongest strategic investors in the world. Now, I'm telling you this because the sponsor of today's video is directly connected to this next wave of technology. Humanoid Global Holdings, ticker symbol RBOHF, trading on the OTC market, is one of the very few public companies providing exposure to the early stage humanoid robotics sector. If you didn't already know, RBOHF is available on tons of different platforms like E-Trade, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Interactive Brokers, and many more. Rather than trying to build robots themselves, Humanoid Global has built a portfolio of strategic investments across several of the most promising companies in the humanoid ecosystem. These companies are all private, meaning retail investors normally have no access to them, but Humanoid Global provides an indirect entry point. So let me talk about 5 of the private companies in their portfolio today. Number 1, Agility Robotics, the developer of Digit, one of the first commercial bipedal humanoid robots, backed by Amazon's Industrial Innovation Fund and Nvidia. Number 2, Apptronic, the creator of Apollo, a general-purpose humanoid robot designed for industrial environments. Apptronic is backed by Google and Mercedes-Benz, and again, Humanoid Global provides exposure to this fast-growing company. Number 3 and 4 are RideScan and HowToRobot. RideScan is developing an AI-powered safety and performance platform for autonomous robots. And HowToRobot is a global digital marketplace that connects businesses seeking automation with vetted robotics solution providers, helping to accelerate the adoption of robotics across dozens of industries. And finally, number 5, Formic, a robotics as a service company that makes automation accessible to small and medium-sized companies through a subscription model. Formic is backed by Lux Capital and Mitsubishi HC Capital America. So guys, be sure to research Humanoid Global Holdings, ticker symbol RBOHF, trading on the OTC markets today. But let's also talk about GNS and the additional steps, the additional legal action they're taking against hedge funds, against short sellers, and now against trading platforms. Roger Hamilton has said that GNS has now hired Mark Basil to take legal action against Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, and Vanguard. Obviously, all of these companies have the buy button for GNS turned off even right now to this very day, and will make it significantly more difficult to purchase GNS shares. You can sell your shares on the app, but if you want to buy shares, you have to fill out complex forms and complex telephone calls just to buy some GNS shares. It seems these companies are clearly trying to aid the short sellers, trying to stop retail investors from buying shares to drop the share price. Kristen has also tweeted about how Ken Griffin might be in trouble once again, desperately discounting one of his properties to try to get it sold, saying that Ken Griffin has slashed the price on his last Magmile trophy pad, trying to find a buyer at Park Tower. It says the condo at 800 North Michigan Avenue is now listed at $12.5 million, reflecting a massive $3.25 million price cut from when it was taken off the market back in July. So that's his last Chicago property, now sold for a deep, deep discount, as of course Ken Griffin has moved all of his assets down to Florida. Previously, he dumped another one of his penthouses at a 44% loss, as well as taking out multiple other loans for Citadel over the last couple of years, and even selling shares in Citadel as well to other firms out there. Obviously, this was something I covered a while ago at the time. We all found it very, very interesting how Citadel and how Ken Griffin specifically were moving all of their assets down to Florida. And finally, I also saw this very interesting post from Stephanie, including this video from JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon talking about the banking crisis back in early 2023. In this video, Jamie Dimon says the SEC has the capability to look at what people are doing by name in options, derivatives, and short sales, saying if someone is doing anything wrong in collusion or people are going short and making a tweet about a bank, the SEC should go after them vicariously, and they should be punished to the full extent of the law. Obviously, Jamie Dimon is saying the SEC should only go after short sellers shorting banks, but it's very interesting that Jamie Dimon says specifically that the SEC does have the capability to look at what people are doing by name in short sales. They just ignore what's going on. This is obviously something that should be dealt with, but as always, it's one rule for thee and another rule for us. So guys, be sure to research Humanoid Global Holdings, ticker symbol RBOHF, trading on the OTC markets today. But guys, as always, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.